I have been to Salou and, more importantly, Portaventura Theme Park on 2 previous holidays, and I have spent a total of 8 days in the park. And in all that time, one roller coaster has beaten me every time. Shambhala. Everyone says it's the best ride in the park, but not for me. Join me as I try to conquer my fears and ride the mighty Shambhala. Welcome to Looking for My Best Life. I'm Kieran, and this is my holiday vlog from Salou and how I face my looming fear of Shambhala yet again. And my fear is real. Will Smith got that wrong in After Earth.
Fear is not real.
I'm playing all the right notes, but not necessarily in the right order.
I don't include my family on these vlogs. They prefer to enjoy their vacation without me sticking a camera in their face. So that leaves me with a little problem. How do I do a vlog about the family holiday in Salou without including the family? Well, the plan is to make this a challenge vlog for me, and I will sneak in a few of the holiday clips under the pretense that they are vitally important to the epic battle raging between me and Shambhala. This year, I must ride Shambhala for the first and probably last time ever, or else I will never hear the end of it from my kids. My kids love this ride. They do it with their eyes wide open, their hands up in the air, and screaming with joy over and over again. Me, my screams are for different reasons. And they love to remind me that I keep bottling it. So this year, the plan is to do it and stop them from ridiculing me for being petrified of something most 10-year-olds can do with their eyes closed. Well, with their eyes open. I'm the one who can't bear to look. I've done almost every ride in the park previously. I've been on the water ride drops and got drenched. I've been on the launch roller coaster that fires you off like a rocket and leaves your face squashed for the ride photo. And I've done Dragon Khan, the roller coaster that does 7 inverted loops in one ride. All of these I can handle. I do them every time and love it. But while some may say that upside down is a step too far, for me it's not. It's the hanging over the edge of the first big drop, looking down at the hard earth surface 200 feet below that gets me. So this is my holiday vlog, my build up to do Shambhala, me overcoming my fears. To be honest, I know it's not that big a deal in reality, but for me it's my nemesis, because it's been in my head for years.
Dad, I forgot. Why aren't we flying?
Why aren't we flying? Because getting there is half the fun. You know that.
Wally World, here we come.
There's only one way I'm going to beat this challenge, and that is to go back to Spain for another holiday. Fortunately for me, we booked this holiday immediately after our return last year, and I've had 12 months exactly to both regret not doing Shambhala last year and listen to my kids make jokes about me not doing it again this year. Anyway, July 2025 comes around eventually, and it's time to enjoy some champagne with my wife to celebrate the end of working. And before I know it, I'm waking up at 3 a.m. to go to the airport for our red-eye flight to Reus. After a short taxi, we race down the runway and the wheels lift off the tarmac and we are up and away, heading south to the sun, sangria and Shambhala. pending fear of Shambhala is ringing in my head. This and the fact that it's the holiday at last, I settle into the flight, watching the miles disappear along with my breakfast beer at 7 a.m. in the morning. Well, it's 8 a.m. in Spain, so it's not too bad really. Don't judge me, please. And before I know it, the 2-hour flight is done and we step out into the heat of Spain and weave our way through the airport, the queuing and waiting for passport control, customs and hotel transportation, all worthwhile practice for the pending trips to Portaventura without a fast pass.
I'm scared to close my eyes. I'm scared to open them.
ChatGPT describes fear as the brain's overprotective bodyguard, loud, dramatic, and usually wrong. It says the trick isn't eliminating it, but retraining it. Break your fear into smaller steps, face them gradually, and reframe the danger as a challenge. Each small win rewires your brain, proving you can handle more than the fear suggests. I have 2 weeks in Spain, of which 4 days will be spent in Portaventura Park. That leaves a lot of time to be thinking about Shambhala. My apologies, reframe it into the challenge of Shambhala. Most of that time was spent sitting by the pool, sunbathing, looking up at the blue sky. I say blue sky, the first few days were marked by a thunder and lightning storm that woke me up in the middle of the night from my drunken stupor, which, let me tell you, takes some doing. And a civil protection alert in Spanish told everyone to leave the beach and bars and return to their hotels to avoid a pending storm. Well, in my newfound mood for reframing fear, I went to the beach to see what was coming for me and face it straight on. And after a few brave minutes on the beach, I quickly turned on my heels and headed to the local supermarket to stock up on some cocktails to see out the storm. When I saw the locals also running for cover, I knew it was time to head back to the safety of the hotel and ride out the rain, darkness and thunder and lightning from my balcony. When the sun came back out, I spent many nervous hours wandering the streets of Salou, preparing myself mentally for the ride that was inevitably coming. I was so nervous, some days I walked past bars, unable to go into them and drink. And on other days, the only thing I could do was drink to quieten the noises in my head. Not only did I prepare myself mentally, I knew that I would need to be in peak physical condition to ride this roller coaster, and the hotel gym came in very handy in fine-tuning my body into the peak form of an astronaut ready to ride Shambhala with the same capability of a NASA rocket launch. As my holiday comes nearer to its conclusion, I take myself off for a quiet walk along the harbour in Cambrils. The sun is beating down and my confidence for thrill rides is at its highest all week. I risk it all and take the ferry back to Salou. It's not a bad way to start my journey of building my thrill rides. The swell is bigger than it looks from the dry land, and the 30-minute journey along the coast sets me up nicely for attacking the park. My first roller coaster drops of the holiday register a swell of about 1 to 2 meters. There's no stopping me now. The numerous trips to Portaventura's park allowed me to follow ChatGPT's advice and reframe my challenge of riding Shambhala into small steps. The water rides were completed first. The fear of having to walk around the park in wet clothes equally as scary as any roller coaster. Next, the water park. I'll take your splash ride and raise you a water slide from the skies. Easy. My confidence is flying now. Nothing is going to stop me. Even the lazy river is devoured in my conquests to raise the challenges with every ride. Next, it's the wooden roller coasters. small drops, fast bends, and a car ride that shakes your teeth out and leaves you battered and bruised from bouncing off the protection bar that's there to protect you. Starting with the baby one, the medium one, and then finally the biggest wooden one. I say big, but it's still dwarfed by Shambhala. Okay, so I've just done blue. Now we'll do red. Wrong colour glasses, I know. But hey. Now, most of these rides have been done with the family, a shared experience, and I know the time is coming where I have to do it. It's nearly the end of the day in the park, and time is running out. Shambhala is looming. Time for these two. Dragon Khan, the red one, upside down about 7 times. Done that a few times before. And that's okay. But for some reason, the white one and that drop, I've never done it. The time is coming. It's nearly time. Let's go. Now, as you may have guessed, this need to conquer a fear of Shambhala is my journey alone, and not the kids. Nor is it a fear of our friends' kids. In fact, all the kids on this trip have ridden Shambhala at least twice every day. So I take myself off. I have a cunning plan. While the kids are all busy soaking up the atmosphere of the park, I run to Dragon Khan. No real wait time as the day is getting on, and a quick ride of this loop-the-loop coaster proves to myself that it's far worse than the one left to do. And I get myself set for the big one. All goes to plan. I laugh and smile my way through each of the 7 inversions, watching the sky and land swap on my horizons as if I was a Top Gun pilot in Miramar. Except I don't need a wingman. I'm Maverick. I leave this coaster, floating on my own success, and head directly to Shambhala, stopping to look at it on my way. Deep inside, I know this time is going to be different. I see the big drop. I see the swirls and hills. I see the airtime. I hear the screams, the laughter, and I smell the fear again. This is Shambhala, 76 metres tall. First drop, 78 metres, almost vertical. Yes, it goes 2 metre underground. Maximum speed, 134 kilometres per hour. Track length, 1.65 kilometres. 6 airtime hills, guaranteeing stomach flips, and Europe's tallest coaster. My plan is simple. Slip into the single rider lane while none of my family and friends are looking. Get onto the ride as quickly as possible while I'm still reeling from the love of Dragon Khan's inversions and my bravery is at its peak. And this plan worked perfectly. Well, that is, until I see my kids in the full queue near the front as I catch them up. I don't know who is more surprised to see the other. Me because I wanted to do it in secret, or them because they never thought they would see the day. As we edge toward the front of the queue, my kids' surprise turning to pride that it looks more and more likely that their dad will do it. Our friends' kids also choose to do this ride and wave to me. This whole surprise game starting again. And then I was called, ushered to the front row of the coaster. There are 4 seats that form the front, and 3 friends had them nearly filled. I strapped myself in. I held on tight, very tight, and waited for the coaster to make its way up the track to the highest point of any roller coaster in Europe, and the start of the ride. Looking out over the whole park, the town of Salou, and the beach where I had taken my ferry a few days earlier. There was me, 700 feet in the air, waiting, dangling, at the mercy of this mechanical contraption. The clunking of the chain as the car has pulled up the incline, falling back into my seat as the gravity and angle give you no choice, knowing that in a few short seconds the gravity would be pulling me the other way out of the seat. But I'm strapped in now, nowhere to go, no way to get off. And then the car reaches the crest, 76 meters in the air, but it feels like 700 to me. The front carriage, mine, hangs over the crest, looking down at the drop, almost stopping to allow the last car to get up. Then I close my eyes. And well, watch for yourself. There are no words I can find that could better describe what you will see next. And 90 seconds later, it's all done. I have ridden Shambhala. Of course, I go straight to the souvenir shop and buy myself the ride cap to confirm my status of joining the Shambhala Club and return to everyone for the sweetest tasting beer of the whole holiday. Even better than the breakfast beer on the flight over. And I sit there in my own glory, champion of my fears. And let's just say that it's not the last drink of the night. I have some serious celebrating to do. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my story of how my fear of a roller coaster was reformed into a challenge of small steps until I rewired my brain. In fact, it was my daughter's wish that for her 18th birthday 2 days later, we rode the coaster again, but together. And I can't think of a better way to celebrate that day with her. I have that video too. It's funnier than this one in reality. My daughter's hands in the air, laughing all the way round, and me holding on for dear life beside her. It is still Shambhala after all, but like I said, my family don't like being in my vlogs, and this was the story of me and my fear. If you made it to the end of this vlog, I thank you, and can I request that you hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more of me looking for my best life. I'm a tiny channel and every bit of support goes a long way to helping me grow. And it costs you nothing and takes no time at all. So please help out a friend. See you in the next one when we go looking for my best life. Yes, I know that whilst my fear has been focused on Shambhala, and in my own head I feel like a god for finally closing my eyes and screaming my way around it twice, I have to acknowledge, before you all bombard my comments with the obvious, Shambhala is, in reality, only the warm-up ride for the daddy of all roller coaster drops in Salou, with Red Force at Ferrari Land next door. But hey, gotta save something for another roller coaster vlog in the future, right?